Hey everyone, I'm Oliver Kovács, a Hungarian composer. In this video tutorial, I'd like to show you how colorful a simple major scale can be with the right chords and orchestration. The major scale doesn't have to be happy and uplifting, sometimes it's just bittersweet. I composed a piece of music for this demonstration and I'll share every detail. The piece is in G major, the tempo is 100 BPM, the time signature is the good old 4/4 time, and I use symphonic instruments. I strived to use not only basic triads, but also seventh chords. Here are the diatonic triads and sevenths in G major. If you are not familiar with the diatonic chord system or don't know what a borrowed chord is, feel free to check out my video lesson on these topics. There are two key elements to achieving a bittersweet mood. The first is the tempo and the second is a choice of chords. A piece in a relatively slow tempo can feel reflective, maybe even melancholic. Since my piece is only 100 BPM, we can check off this point. The other tool at your disposal is the chord progression. According to the diatonic chord system, a minor scale has exactly the same chords as a major scale. This is true because every major scale has its relative minor and they share the same notes. If you want to create a bittersweet piece in a major key, you need to use darker chords like minor, diminished, half diminished, or minor sevenths. These types of chords combined with the tempo make your piece feel ambiguous. It's a relatively bright scale, yet it also includes darker harmonies. Let's take a look at my chord progression. I'd like to highlight two chord pairs that can help you achieve this mood. A minor seventh on the second degree and a half diminished seventh on the second degree. A major triad on the first degree and a minor triad on the third degree. The melody is mostly in a major key, but I incorporated some chromatic notes. Chromatic simply means that the note is not part of the scale. This is a great way to create more colorful and interesting melodies, so feel free to experiment with chromatic notes in your own music. In this example, D sharp is a chromatic note. Using notes outside the scale is not a problem at all. In fact, it can make your melody even more expressive. Let's listen to the melody. Since this is an emotional piece, I deliberately left out the brass section. I incorporated only strings and woodwinds because in my opinion, these types of instruments convey this emotional, bittersweet mood more effectively. The main melody is played by the first violins, doubled with one of the flutes. The other flute and the second violin provide accompaniment, while one of the oboes follows them. The violas play in two voices. The cellos and double basses provide the bass line. String instruments mostly play in legato, but the cellos and double basses occasionally switch to pizzicato to create a more defined rhythm. Let's listen to the string section. As I mentioned earlier, the flutes double the first and the second violin voices, and one of the oboes follow them, mostly a third or a fourth apart. One of the clarinets follow the oboe, mostly a third apart, and the other and the bassoon play together with the violas. Orchestral doubling is when two or more different types of instruments play together in the same or different octaves. This technique helps create a more interesting and colorful sound. A flute and string doubling is quite common. Flutes add brightness and clarity to the string section, enhancing the higher overtones and making the melody stand out more prominently in the orchestral texture. Cello and double bass octave doubling reinforces the low end of the orchestra, adding depth, power, and warmth while maintaining clarity in the bass line. If you found this video lesson interesting and helpful, you can support me by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, subscribing, or even buying me a coffee. Thanks for watching.